gang, what's going on? James here and welcome back to the show. And another edition of One Fan's Thoughts and Theories, Breaking Theories. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. First up, last week was a big week for Marvel, with the release of Avengers Endgame trailer. Be sure to check out my review for that trailer right up there. First up, IGN has a review of Pet Sematary, the latest adaptation from a Stephen King novel. Now, IGN was on hand at the South by Southwest Film Festival this weekend, and it saw an advanced screening of the film. And according to the review, the film is actually pretty good. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. Some of the high points are they praised the film's acting, the atmosphere, and the overall creepiness of the story. Now, with Pet Sematary getting an 8 out of 10 on IGN, and It Chapter 1 getting really good reviews, it stands to say that It Chapter 2 will follow in that succession. And if that's the case, I think we can expect to see more Stephen King adaptations in the future. Maybe even a Dark Tower movie that's actually good. Coming up next is the news that James Gunn was rehired by Disney as the writer and director for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now this came as a huge shock, as James Gunn was fired just a couple of months ago for some old tweets that had resurfaced. Now after news broke that Gunn was rehired by Marvel and Disney, he took to Twitter to break his silence. Now I think this is a big move for Disney, because it shows them that they are willing to forgive and move forward. And it shows that they are accepting of people who take responsibility for their mistakes. Now when James Gunn was rehired by Marvel and Disney to helm Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Twitter exploded with a plethora of positive responses. One person even stated, "I'm not the kind of person who claps in the cinema, but at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, when the credits say directed by James Gunn, it's going to be real hard not to." Now after he was fired by Disney and Marvel, he was hired by Warner Brothers to write and direct Suicide Squad 2. Now Gunn is still moving forward with Suicide Squad 2, and is set to begin filming later this year for a release date in 2020. And he has said that he will complete production on Suicide Squad 2, and that his next project after that will be the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So it's safe to say that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will hit theaters in 2021. Next up, we got more pictures of Jared Leto on the set of Morbius, the Living Vampire, the next spin-off of the Spider-Man series produced by Sony. Now in the photos, Jared Leto is sporting some forearm crutches and talking to an unknown person. So it looks like Michael Morbius is going to be battling some kind of disease. So it looks to be like the research that he is conducting is to help cure him of his illness, and that in turn will turn him into Morbius. So it seems like this is a classic case of the accident gone wrong, turning him into this monster. Now of course we haven't got any pictures of Jared Leto in the Morbius makeup and costume, so as to what he will look like is still a mystery. Morbius is still a ways away, and we have a whole lot more information to get. And moving over to the DC Extended Universe, we have confirmation of when the standalone Batman movie will begin filming. This past weekend, Matt Reeves, the director of the solo Batman movie, took to Twitter in a Q&A. And when asked, "Do you guys know when you will start filming it?" the director stated, "Looking like sometime around year's end." So this just confirms earlier reports that filming is set to begin in November. Now we still don't have confirmation that the script is even complete, and furthermore we know that Ben Affleck is out as Batman. So the question of who will replace him is still a mystery. Now with so much momentum already building, I think it's safe to say that they already have an actor in mind. And let's not forget that in 4 short months is Comic-Con. What better place to announce the replacement of Ben Affleck as Batman than at Comic-Con? So something tells me we'll be getting our news on who will play Batman in just 4 months. And finally, in more news from the DC Extended Universe, reports are coming in that Ezra Miller will be writing the Flash movie with Grant Morrison. Now the news comes from the Hollywood Reporter that says that the two directors have been at odds with Warner Brothers on the tone of the movie. And with the script constantly being turned down, Ezra Miller decided to take the reins himself and chose Grant Morrison as his writing partner. However, Ezra Miller has stated that he wants this script to be much darker than what was initially intended. Now, it will be interesting to see if Warner Brothers actually does pick up the Ezra Miller Grant Morrison script, going with the more darker tone. With Aquaman being such a huge success, and Shazam getting ready to come out on April 5th, a movie that the trailers have shown nothing but lightheartedness, it will be interesting to see if they go in that dark direction. Now reports are also coming in that if Ezra Miller's script is not picked up by Warner Brothers, then he will opt out of playing the Flash in the DC Extended Universe. And that will make 3 actors that have backed out of playing superheroes in DC. So time will only tell what's going to happen with this movie, but Ezra Miller is said to turn in his script next week to Warner Brothers, so we should have an answer by then. And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Be sure to comment below, let me know what you think of all this news. Follow me on Twitter at James Walker Show, and be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you get all my videos when they come out. And as always, I will see you guys next time.